as soon as we get,
A green light?
yeah, we'll go.
What are we doing? What are you doing? What's the problem, Charlie? He's asking what we're doing. That's right. Where it got. Is that trashed or just set up? The stories are. Oh, okay.
Check, mic check.
All right, we'll go ahead and begin. I want to thank everyone for coming out on such short notice. This is, we felt like this would be the best method by which to get the information out as quickly as possible. And the reason I wanted to get the information out quickly is this is a case that greatly impacted our community. And when something of this nature occurs, we try to keep everyone up to date as much as possible and reveal information as it breaks. We're pleased to announce the arrest of a case that involved a murder that occurred back in 2023. To kind of refresh everyone what occurred, back in July the 9th of 2023, a young man by the name of Nijon Brandon was brought to our emergency room suffering from several gunshot wounds. He was not able to survive those wounds and had passed away. Our investigation revealed that the incident occurred on Commonwealth Boulevard between two cars as they were traveling up the road. The investigation in this case has been long and it has not ceased. When we have situations like this happen, our investigators, they really put forth their effort on it. Well, this has been a long 2-year investigation, and we're now here to announce the arrest of Jahil Armand Martin, age 23, of Greensboro, for first-degree murder. I want to mention that we had a lot of assistance in this investigation on both the local, state level, and it was a multi-state investigation. I particularly want to thank the Greensboro Police Department Violent Crimes Apprehension Team, as well as the North Carolina Bureau of Investigations. They were essential in assisting with this, as well as our own Division of Forensic Science that brought forth the key evidence that allowed us to result in this today. Mr. Martin was arrested earlier today in Greensboro. Our investigators are currently there furthering the investigation. Something else I do want to put out there is that this is likely not going to be the only arrest in this case. We are continuing our efforts and our investigation, and there is likely to be additional arrests that come about. Now, how quickly that occurs, it depends upon the evidence as it comes forth. But we have been in touch with the family members, in particular the mother of the victim, to kind of let her know that this has developed and what is taking place. Unfortunately, this hasn't been an easy case. It's been very complex. And so we are not finished with it. It'll continue right up through trial. So there's some information I still can't discuss about it, but I did want to bring everyone together and attempt to answer any questions that you may have that I can't answer. And if I can't answer it, I'll just simply say that that's the reason why I can't, because the investigation is still ongoing. But I really need to compliment the investigative efforts of our Criminal Investigations Division, is headed by Lieutenant Richard Barrow and Sergeant Harley Durham. But also the key case agent in this has been Sergeant Jason Vaughn, who has not given up and worked continuously on this case to bring about this result. So at this time, I will take any questions that you may have.
What was kind of the hold up on the investigation?
A lot of it was physical evidence. That some of the evidence that they were able to get and have analyzed, the state lab takes a while in doing it. So it was more of an evidentiary thing, and then once these key pieces of evidence came back with the results it did, it allowed us to move forward and to make the arrest.
Sort of like a drive-by shooting, is that what we're understanding?
I wouldn't say a drive-by, more like a drive-beside. And when the trial actually comes about, we can't, because we have further investigations that we're doing, we'll actually release the video at the trial, that because this was actually captured by traffic camera.
You say if they were racing?
No, that racing wasn't. If I was to say anything, and I know that I may get a little kickback on this, this was an outright execution. This was a planned, premeditated murder. That the victim was the intended target, and the suspect organized to go and have him killed.
So he traveled from Greensboro to commit this crime?
He has ties to this area as well. He has family members in this area and was originally from here.
Do you know if they knew each other or what their relationship
Yes,
was?
they did. And they were, I'll just say that they knew each other very well.
You said there may likely be some other arrests. Do you know any persons of interest or potential suspects?
We're not announcing names. One of the unfortunate things in this was regards that some of the charges that may come about involve some of the persons that were with the victim at the time that it occurred. So they are also additional suspects as well, let's say, or involved in criminal activity as well.
Can you say how many people were involved? I mean, in the vehicles, or?
I don't have that information directly in front of me. We know that 2 people were injured that night, were shot in the victim's car. But right now I can't release how many were in the other vehicle.
Is first-degree murder the only charge, or are there other additional charges as well?
That's the charge right now. There may be some additional that come later.
Could you tell us that name again?
Yes, and we'll be providing written copies of this release, so that way you have all the full information. His name is Jahil Arman Martin, age 23. First name is Jahil, last name common spelling Martin.
What does it mean to you guys to get through this major breakthrough, put someone like this behind bars?
So it's very important to our officers because they take it personally, trying to help the family members out, and that's the key thing that drives a lot of our officers, is that they meet with the family of the victims routinely, and in the case, Nijon's mother, she's been very cooperative with us, and our heart goes out to her and all of his family members. And so that's what really drives them. And when we're able to make an arrest on this, it's somewhat of a relief, but it's also an understanding that we know we still have more work to do in this. And we're doing it in the interest of justice for the family, for our victim.
Now, speaking to the family, I think one of the key factors was maybe there wasn't cooperation from the individuals that were involved. Was that a setback as well?
Yes, and that's always a setback when that occurs. And so that's been one of the challenges, but it's not one that we haven't been able to overcome. And there will be additional results because of it.
You talked about this being like a complicated case. Can you kind of share what you can about what the complications of it would be, such a complex, complicated case?
Well, that's been part of the complications, is that the people that were with the victim at the time that occurred were not cooperating. In fact, they had taken some efforts to conceal some evidence themselves. I guess out of, I'm not certain of their motivation in that, but that's what helped complicate the issue, is that we were getting no assistance from the fellow victims.
And that's where some charges would come from, concealment of evidence?
That and some of the additional parties that were involved in, along, that were with Mr. Martin.
Did you say the shooting occurred in Martinsville or in Greensboro?
It occurred in Martinsville on Commonwealth Boulevard. It's in a stretch of road that's just as soon as they came into the city, coming eastbound on Commonwealth Boulevard.
The being near the chopsticks?
Yes.
Were there any additional witnesses around?
All the witnesses were in both of the vehicles.
Was it like 2 a.m., right?
Yes, it was 2:25 a.m. when the shooting occurred. Any other questions?
Will you be providing a headshot of the suspect?
I'm glad you asked that. We don't have one right now, but we will as soon as we are able to get one. Right now, he is in North Carolina, so that means that we're going to have to go through an extradition process. Our investigators were there at the time of the arrest, so they are also attempting to interview the suspect and talk with him because, like I said, we know he's not the only party involved, and there's going to be a legal process to get him back into Virginia. But hopefully we can get you a headshot from Greensboro PD as soon as we can.
What did the family tell you this morning?
I did not directly speak with the family, so I can't say. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much again for coming. And we'll be providing written copies of this press release, so that way you'll have all of the names and information involved, as well as we will have it posted on our website. So thank you.
Thank you.